So this is training module number 2. I'm just going to run through some of the documents that you should have received. Um, Number 1 is the opening script. The opening script is just a way to qualify your customers and to gain their attention. You gain their attention by telling them that we are going to offer them a much better rate than they're presently paying on their processing, a much lower discount rate, and we guarantee it. If we can't beat the rate that they have, we will give them a $500 check. So the way to enter into the discussion is to ask them what is their rate, not to give up your rate too quickly. Ask them what their rate is, and if you could sit down and have a look at their statement, or if they can email or fax it to you, is always the best. If not, if they tell you their rate and you beat their rate with the rate you know that you have is 1.66, it's going to beat 99.99 of the people. So those people that say that they have a better rate, congratulate them, ask them to email or fax you or give a photocopy of their statement from the current processor, being Moneris, TD Visa, Chase Payment Tech. These are the three companies that primarily rent terminals. Moneris and TD Visa only rent terminals. That's good news because we only lease and sell terminals. Our terminals are 100% tax deductible, theirs aren't. So people going with them are wasting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the course of years, tens of thousands of dollars over 4 years. So we're saving them all that. And then we have the processing, our discount rate, which again, a discount rate means for every $100, let's say, if they have a discount rate of 2%, every company who accepts Visa, MasterCard has negotiated a rate. We offer a rate of 1.66, no transaction fees. They're paying whatever it is north of that, let's say 2% and 5 cents on every transaction. The spread is 0.34 on $50,000. We're saving them $170 a month times 12, over $2,000 times 4, over $8,000 over the course of 4 years, because we're guaranteeing always our rates for 4 years. So you have an example sheet of all this. You should have an example sheet of this. You should have a explanation sheet for page 2 and the point of sale terminal agreement programming part of page of the point of sale terminal agreement. So with this information, you are really laying the groundwork of beating their rates and offering them a lot more savings. So it's more money for them and more faster. They get their money always the next day. All transactions they do by 10 a.m. let's say Monday, all their money in their account is there. All transactions that they do Visa, MasterCard, and debit by 10 p.m. is in their account by 10 a.m. the next morning. And again, with somebody who's with a TD Visa will have their MasterCard with First Data, so they're getting 2 statements, and their MasterCard business is with First Data, and therefore they wait also for their MasterCard money on a lot of cases. Even people that were with Moneris, owned by the Royal Bank and Bank of Montreal, which controls 50% of the market, wait sometimes a day, 2 days, 3 days for their money. With us, they will not. We can put their money in their same bank account or any other bank account. That's the advantage with Elavon. It's bank independent. It's not dependent on which bank they are. We'll switch them with our processor. In 3 to 5 days, they'll get their terminals, and it's all explained in the close at the end of all the information on probably module 4, how to close a customer properly. So again, you have the opening script. It's very powerful, qualifying somebody. If they say they have a better rate, ask them to prove it, email you or fax you or give you a photocopy. If it's truly better, if it looks better, they email it to us and we'll beat their rate or give them a $500 check. 99% of the time, it will not be better than our rate. You're saving people thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and even more over the course of 4 years. The next document that you have is the 1-year free barter membership. It's worth $700. This is a gift for closing today, tomorrow, or Friday. You always have to create urgency. If you do not create urgency, you will never close somebody. If they want that gift, if they want the guaranteed best rates in Canada, which we have, they need to do the deal today, tomorrow, by Friday, or it all might be gone. The next document you have is that is helpful for you would be your benefit sheet and your example sheets as I talked, and your explanation sheets. All these documents you should have. If you're missing any of them, they're documents or emails, you should request them, and you can request them and anything else that you need by email. I'll be happy to send them to you immediately. All your questions are usually answered the quickest if you email us here at Rocket Solutions International. So soon we're going to go into an application, how to fill out an application. And the application is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to explain what a discount rate at this point is. A discount rate, again, every client has negotiated with, if they're already in doing processing, accepting Visa, MasterCard, they have agreed on a discount rate with their bank or their processor. And for example, if they have a processing rate of 2%, and our rate is 1.66, the spread between the 2% and the 1.66 is what we're saving them. It's 34 cents on, so every transaction of $100, for example, they would give up $2 to their processor. With us, they give up $1.66. So we're saving them 34 cents times 50,000 is $170 a month, times 12 months, over $2,000 over 4 years. It's $8,000. That's a huge savings just in one place. And you have the transaction savings. On every transaction on Visa, MasterCard, most processors charge between 5 and 20 cents. The lower they charge, if they go down to 1.70, let's say for example, which is rare, they usually have a transaction fee. If they go to 1.69, that's just an introductory for 3 months, and then they go back up to 1.85. They never guarantee their rates for 4 years. They have higher rates, and the transaction fee of 5 cents or 10 cents is very oppressive. If you have a transaction fee on your Visas and MasterCards at 5 cents, which 90% of them have, and again, like the lower their rate, the higher their transaction. They could be at 1.70 with 10 cents. That's huge, because 50 transactions a day on Visa and MasterCard will cost them $5 a day, times 30 days is $150. They don't have any of those transaction fees with us. We're saving them thousands of dollars there. In the case of qualified, they are putting many of, this is what we were talking about as qualified. These are cards that are swiped or inserted in the chip reader. They fall in the classification of qualified. When you're talking mid-qualify, again, most of the processors put a lot of stuff in mid-qualify that a company like Elavon doesn't put into the mid-qualify. They would tend to put just Avion cards and your mile cards into that category, which represents about 10% of the cards out there. So if a business is a true retailer, he has 100% of his business is walk-in traffic, then 90% would go through at 1.66 with us, and maybe 10% at 1.79. Whereas opposed to a Moneris, they put a lot more into the mid-qualified. So they might start them off with a qualified rate of 1.85 and a 0.5% extra, so 2.35 in his mid-qualified points cards and gold cards. And then they might put him into non-qualified for other cards, whereas again with an Elavon, if they're swiped or inserted, will only be charged 1.66, or in the case of some points cards, 1.79. So the savings gets bigger and bigger, because each processor defines their classifications of qualified, mid-qualified, and non-qualified differently. And again, companies like Moneris and TDVs and other companies have very oppressive categories for their customers, thereby charging them a lot more. So this will conclude Module 2, and the next module will go to Module 3 that will explain how to fill out an application. So once you've sold the benefits on the huge savings that you're saving the customer, the fact that they're going to get more of their money, keep more of their money, instead of giving up $500 a month in processing, they give up $400 or $300, saving them thousands of dollars over the course of the year, and certainly thousands of dollars over the course of 4 years. You sold them on the fact that their terminals are tax-free, so they're saving thousands of dollars there when they lease them or purchase them. And you sold them on the fact that they're getting their money faster. They'll get it the next day. So if any transactions they do till 10 p.m. on a day with us, they'll have it there by the next day by 10 a.m. as opposed to their processor. And the free gift that we're giving that's worth $700 and introduces them to thousands of clients across Canada and the United States, and they can go on a vacation and then later pay it off with products or services. This is all a reason to do the deal with us and do it today, tomorrow, or by Friday, so that we do get the deal. So next module would be the application. Now you walk them through how to do an application. No one will do an application by themselves. You have to send an application out, call 100 people a day, send out 10 applications, or go see 50 people, close one a day, and leave 5 applications behind. So now please go to the next module, which is module number 3.